Elle se join.
Elle est dans le film, shower.
Well done, eh? Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, eh? Very grateful for the work that you are doing. If we get over this, we will do the appropriate thing to show our appreciation. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I need to skip, sir.
Well, we have a health challenge on our hands. As I told you before, it's a lonely job, so there's fear, but fear for what? It's more about fear for the people who are entrusted to me, their well-being, fear and concern for the people who have also taken leadership to help us contain this fear for the well-being of our workers. And, you know, I heard now that the NMA has called off its strike, so I hope that they will come and sign up now and join. And if we're asking people to lead, I must also be here to come and see the environment in which they are working, the level of preparation that they have, and the level of protection also, and to come and assess. And that's why one is very thankful to see all our health workers here and to express appreciation for the work that they're doing. It's also important that we make this point that the Ebola virus in itself, as devastating as its consequences can be, is not an automatic death sentence. The consequences of death depend on what we do and what we do not do. There are already reported cases of patients who are recovering in other parts of West Africa. So it's catching it early, being able to respond to it appropriately, and knowing that also taking precautions. And that's why you see we didn't go into where the patients are, because there's a very strict protocol for going in there. So if you are going in there, you must wear a fully protected gown. In the place where we are expanding to ensure that we are able to cope with anything that comes out, you will see the showers there. People have to go through a protocol, one way in, one way out. Those who are detoxifying and decontaminating don't go in, they're waiting outside. Those who go in. So it's a very rigorous protocol set up with advice from the Center for Disease Control, and then people who are not critically ill and stuff, where they go, how we are going to be disposing of their refuse and their waste. The provisions have already been made there so that we can separate very critically ill people from people who are just showing symptoms or who need to be in isolation. So it's a very, very methodical process. As I said, it is not an automatic death sentence.
So, the risk involved, sir, is it that huge?
Well, from what I hear, and this is from a long discussion I had with the leadership of the Center for Disease Control in Washington yesterday, we were on the phone for well over an hour, I was speaking to them, trying to compare what we were doing with what they expected us to do. Their personnel are here for clarity, helping and working with our people, training people. The risk is always there, but the first defense against this virus is to prevent it from spreading. Once we do that, then we are on our way towards coming out of it. And that is why you cannot go into where patients are now unless you are fully protected appropriately, unless you walk through the mandated processes for going in and for coming out. And but compared to other epidemics, we've had the H1N1, SARS, we've had so many, but we've overcome them. Cholera is an epidemic in itself, and cholera has killed more people than this has. I think in the 40-year history since they discovered this virus, from the records is about 3,000 plus because of this large epidemic that we now have across that have unfortunately died. So, and the reassuring thing that I am told is that it's not airborne. So you can't pick it just. So until you touch somebody or touch fluid from somebody who has it, you are not likely to contact. So it is important, therefore, that those who contact it or who suspect that they have contacted it or have had contact with somebody who contacted it, do not make further contact with any member of their family. They must call the helplines that we have put in place. They must come here and take help. Now, from what the Center for Disease Control told me yesterday, that there is no known cure, but if it is known and diagnosed early, patients can make a full recovery, because here you can give them very intense medical care, which involves managing their waste, managing their body fluids, giving them antibiotics, giving them fluids to rehydrate their body and to ensure that their immune system is able to find a standing chance to combat and make back full recovery, as they have seen in some parts of Liberia and Sierra Leone. So that is very, very important. So that's the facility I have come to see that is now set up and ready for use. The next step is, of course, to continue to increase our hand washing and personal hygiene habits, and to quickly report. So it's first containment so that it doesn't spread. So people who feel that they have it should not make physical contact with anybody. They should call for medical and specialized help. Second is that if they get here early, we're able to treat, we're able to contain it. Now, the risk in not doing that, you see, we must be thankful so far that the hospital acted professionally and they reported that case. The downside of not having done that is that we would have pretended that there was nothing going wrong, and you would have just seen people dropping dead suddenly, and you would not be able to monitor how many people they have even contacted. Because they did that, we are able now to keep a record of who and who was in that hospital, who and who made contact at the airport, who and who made contact during, and so on and so forth. So that has helped. It's a very, very big boost, and I couldn't thank that hospital management enough. Now, risk is that if we continue to pretend and hide, one case, one contact has led to 7 infections. So there's a total of 7. So 1 multiplies by 6 times. So just do the maths in your head. If 1 multiplies by 6 and 6 multiplies by 6, that gives you 36. If you multiply 36 by 6, that gives you 1,000 plus. If you multiply 1,000 plus by 6, that gives you like 7,000 plus. So we must not let that happen. In all the places where it's happened in West Africa, what I'm told is that they're largely rural and isolated settings. This is an urban center. So, and look, in 5 minutes, look at all the people here. So we cannot let that happen. So we must quickly report. We must quickly isolate. As I've said, it's not an automatic death sentence, but whether we like it or not, we must combat this thing now. We must combat either 7 and those who we are suspecting that we know, or take the unfortunate risk of looking for 1,000 or more people. That must not happen. So again, I want to reiterate, I want to appeal to Lagosians, I want to appeal to Nigerians. If you suspect that anybody is showing symptoms, let the person report here to this hospital in Yaba, which is our infectious disease center. And let me also use this opportunity to appeal to private hospitals and all of that. They too must develop a first line of defense. Now, if patients turn in sick, they must assume and begin to take protection right from entry. They must isolate, because we can't do this alone. People are going to go to them sometimes before they are referred to us. So they must take the same defense and the same mechanisms and precautions, create isolation wards in their hospitals now for people they suspect might have this thing. Monitor. If they are all clear, discharge them and let them go. If they are not clear, then let us know immediately so that we can either come and pick or you move to us.
Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
There's a bona fide that's back there. So there are different pathways for clean and CFDR. Alibabi. Yeah. Please don't touch anything.
Don't talk.